Ooh, nice background, Dave Banish.
I know.
We can't hear you, but you look nice.
Down at the Jersey Shore. It's looking north on Brigantine toward Barnegat.
Is that looking out over the Pine Barrens?
No, those are sand dunes on the right of the photo and salt marshes on the left.
Oh.
A lot of green.
Yeah, it is. Right at the tip of Brigantine, the city, it just stops. And then there are several miles of coastal barrier island.
Huh.
It extends up to Holgate. You can walk up to the northerly tip of the island and you can look across to Holgate on LBI.
Very neat.
What's that squeaking I hear?
Not me.
I don't know. Here's some squeaking.
It can't be from anyone muted.
Oh, that's my bird.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's your bird.
Oh, all
My
right.
parrot, sorry.
Oh, you have a parrot?
Another
Oh.
parrot?
Yeah.
Bring him into the picture so we can see
Yeah,
him.
come on, bring the parrot in. If we're gonna hear him, we might as well see him.
Oh, no. I'm not gonna, she'll just take over the whole thing. She's a little thing, but she's an absolute terror, so.
You're gonna have to swear him in, John.
Joan Harris is, hi, Joan. Can't see, oh, there you are. We can see your, hi, Joan. You're on mute.
I've said hi about 10 times.
Hello.
Good. How is everybody?
Okay, can someone go on to the local channel and make sure that it's streaming and you can hear everything?
I think Mr. Crane is going to help us out.
It's on.
Okay, can someone go on to the local channel and make sure that it's streaming and you can hear everything?
It's
Okay,
on.
We're live, go ahead.
John Crane just said yes. It is. It's live.
It's on.
Okay, can someone go on to the local channel?
And Joe just came on.
Okay, Kippy, you are host.
Okay. All right. Let us, I don't have a gavel. The regular meeting of the Planning Board of Bernards Township, done virtually, is of May 5th, 2020, is now called to order. I'll say the flag salute and everybody can do it silently. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, notice to this meeting of the Planning Board of the Township of Bernards was posted on the doors of the municipal building, Collier Lane, Basking Ridge, New Jersey, was sent to the Bernardsville News, Whippany, New Jersey, to the Courier News, Bridgewater, New Jersey, and was electronically mailed to all those people who have requested individual notice. The following procedure has been adopted by the Bernards Township Planning Board. There will be no new cases heard after 10 p.m. and no new witnesses or testimony will be heard after 10:30 p.m. The public is able to view this meeting live on Optimum Cablevision Channel 15 and Verizon Fios TV Channel 35. And the meeting will also be streamed live via YouTube for those interested in watching on their computers. Ms. Kiefer, can you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Chairwoman Padici.
Here.
Ms. Acey has indicated she's unable to attend this evening. Mr. Crane.
Here.
Committeeman Esposito.
Here.
Committeewoman Harris.
Here.
Mr. Hurley.
Here.
Mr. McNally.
Here.
Ms. Manduke has indicated she's unable to attend this evening. Mr. Zidell.
Here.
Mr. Demerjian.
Here.
Ms. Mastrangelo.
Here.
Mr. Banish.
Here.
Mr. Drill.
Here.
Ms. Marcelli is unable to attend. Mr. Schley.
Here.
And for the record, Ms. Kiefer is present. Chairwoman, you have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you very much. I'd like to get a motion to excuse the absences of Miss AC. Miss Mandu, please. Please state your name before you either make the motion or second.
Joan Harris, so moved.
Second?
Zidell, second.
Thank you, Mr. Zidell. Thank you, Committeewoman Harris. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the approval of minutes of the April 21st, 2020 meeting. Everybody on this call is eligible to vote. May I have a motion, please?
Greg Hurley, so moved, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Second?
Andrew McNally, second.
Thank you very much, Mr. McNally. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item was the approval of a resolution, Fairmont Cemetery Association of Newark and Somerset Hills, number PB 19-007, block 2301, lots 12 and 18, 95 Mount Airy Road, preliminary and final site plan approved. Mr. Osterman, the applicant's attorney, has requested that this resolution be removed from the agenda and be voted on at a later date at another meeting. So we will not be doing this.
For the record, we were up to version 4, and I don't think he's going to have a lot of comments, but once he gives those comments, I assume the final will be version 5 at the June meeting.
Thank you. The next item is a completeness hearing, Emerald Valley Homeowners Association, Inc. A lot 11401, lots 37.01 and 42, 16 Harvest Way and 181 Mountain Road, amended preliminary final major site division, the elimination of a condition, number PB 20-001. Mr. Schley, you sent out a memo on April 23rd, 2020. Do you have any further comments on that memo, please?
No, the memo simply indicates there's 4 outstanding items that were not submitted, and that's where it stands.
Okay, we had received an indication that the applicant's attorney would be on, and I do not see him at this point.
Let me ask you a question. Did the applicant's attorney request waivers from those 4 items, Cindy? Okay. How about Dave Schley? Do you know if the applicant's attorney requested waivers from those 4 items?
Yes, at least from number 4, and no, some of the items were marked as submitted, but they really weren't. I'm not sure what the applicant's position is going to be on those.
Yeah, and
John, you may want to ask Cindy again because she had dropped off and I think she just came back.
Yep. Cindy, can you unmute yourself?
I don't know what happened there. You all froze for a little bit.
Cindy, did the applicant's attorney request waivers from any of these 4 items that remain incomplete?
It's my understanding that he was going to join us in this meeting. I sent him the link.
I understand, but this is the same applicant's attorney who did this in another application a couple of months back, and the
It's my
board told him you shouldn't show up and request the waivers. You should, if you're going to request the waivers, you should put them in writing ahead of time. So he didn't put any requests for waivers ahead of time?
Not to mine. No, not that I got.
Yeah,
No.
this is Dave Schley. They're definitely asking for a waiver from number 4, which is the project report and environmental impact assessment. And for numbers 1, 2, and 3, the submitted checklist is checked off that they were submitted, but they were not, what was submitted did not satisfy the requirement, in my opinion.
Okay, so
But they definitely did indicate a waiver.
Okay, so my
Okay,
advice to the board
your
is,
opinion, please, Mr. Drill.
so what you have in front of you, in my opinion, is items 1, 2, and 3 are incomplete. I mean, and there's no request for a waiver, but you should discuss the request for the waiver from item 4, because once the applicant submits things, the board has 45 days to deem it complete or incomplete. And then if the applicant requests a waiver, you have 45 days to act on the waiver. If you don't act within the 45 days, it's deemed, the waiver is deemed granted or the application is deemed complete. So the first three are no brainers. Dave says they're incomplete. There's no waiver request. They're incomplete. But Dave, can you explain what item 4 is? And to the best of your ability, explain to the board the basis for the waiver request?
Yeah, item number 4 is it's a combination of two separate reports, a project report and an environmental impact assessment. The board has seen these and they're most valuable on bigger projects. You saw big reports for like the Mountain View Housing Project and Dewey Meadow Project and things like that. It covers things such as natural resource inventories and water supply and sewer supply and impacts as far as traffic and township facilities. For this particular application, the applicant's not proposing any physical improvements or land disturbance at all. What they're requesting is for the homeowners association that maintains an emergency access road for the Emerald Valley residential subdivision, for that association to no longer have to maintain that road. So it's more of an operational thing is what is being requested here. In my opinion, we don't need the project report and environmental impact assessment. And I would suggest to the board that that's something that probably should be waived. And remember, when you do waive something, if there is anything that would have otherwise been included in either of those reports that you find out you might want more information on during the course of the hearing, you could always ask for it then.
Right. So your recommendation is that the board grant the waiver for number 4, but what about the first 3? He hasn't requested a waiver.
I would recommend the board grant the waiver for number 4 and deem the application incomplete because items number 1, 2, and 3 have not been submitted.
Okay. Are there
And
any,
not grant waivers for 1, 2, and 3.
are there any questions or comments from the board?
No.
Okay, so would anybody like to make a motion? Oh,
Kippy, I'm sorry. I do have a question.
Sure.
What are the consequences of deeming the first 3 incomplete?
They're incomplete. So the application doesn't, the time to decide it doesn't start to run until the first 3 are submitted.
So it just sort of tolls it.
The clock doesn't start. It's not tolling it. The time clock to decide doesn't start until an application is complete.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, would anybody like to make a motion on, based on Mr. Schley's recommendation and Mr. Joe's recommendation?
I assume the motion would be to waive item 4 and declare items 1, 2, and 3 incomplete. So the application's incomplete until 1, 2, and 3 are submitted. Something to that effect?
Yes. Anybody like to make a motion to that effect?
Joan Harris, I will make a motion to that effect.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
second.
Oops,
I think-
Paul did it. Paul did it.
Mr.
Paul Demurgian,
Demurgian
second.
make the second. Roll call, please, Ms. Kiefer.
Mr. Crane,
Yes.
let's see, I'm sorry, Mr. Crane, Committeeman Esposito,
Yes.
Committeewoman Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Hurley,
Yes.
Mr. McNally,
Yes.
Mr. Zaidel,
Yes.
Mr. Demurgian,
Yes.
Ms. Mastrangelo,
Yes.
Chairwoman Padici.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item was the public hearing on William and Carol Moyer, Block 11401, Lot 11, 11 Mountain Road, minor subdivision, bulk variances, number PB 17-001. This has been carried to June 2nd, 2020 with no further notice. So now, of course, I'll take comments from members. Any members have any comments?
I do, Madam Chair, John
Yeah.
Crane.
Mr. Crane?
Just want to remind everybody that May, we turned 260 years old in the township, and I can remember when we turned 200. That's all I have to.
Glad you didn't say you can remember
Oh,
when you
yeah.
turned 100.
You go to yourself, Mr. Crane.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Any other comments?
I just wanted to reiterate my thanks for everybody involved in pulling together these virtual meetings. I know it's probably not easy, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNally. Next is comment from staff. Cindy, can you go over where we are in our pending applications, please?
Sure. Okay, Madam Chair, it was you indicated to me that you were going to cancel the May 19th meeting.
Well, I will after I hear what's on the
Okay.
agenda.
In June, we're scheduled on June 2nd, we're scheduled to hear the Moyer application. And I had tentatively scheduled for June 16th, the public hearing for Emerald Valley. And that's where we're at this point. Also in June, we'll be memorializing the resolution for Fairmont Cemetery. But at this point, those are the Moyer and Emerald Valley are the two applications that we have pending before us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, based on that, I will be canceling the Tuesday, May 19th meeting. So that our next meeting will be our regularly scheduled meeting on Tuesday, June 2nd. We will let you know where we'll be. Will it be, who knows where everybody will be at this point. But I think we will be having an application. So I will be working, it may go a little differently because we're going to have to take input from an expert witness and public comment through questioning and then general public comment afterwards. So I'll be working on that to see if it goes, wanted to go slowly. Any other comments from staff?
Just not that it's about me, but by canceling that meeting, my 35th wedding anniversary will be celebrated at home at 7:30.
Oh.
Good.
We're gonna do it via Zoom meeting?
I'll ask my wife. That'd be pretty funny.
Well, that's great. You'll be able to celebrate it, Mr. Drill. Any other
Congratulations.
comments? Thank you. Congratulations. Any other staff comments?
No, Madam Chair.
We're still going strong with this COVID-19 and being in the house 24/7.
There you go.
Kippy, I have a question. June 2nd is definitely virtual then?
Very likely. We do not know.
Okay.
Who makes that decision?
Not me. It's going to be, I think, a combination of what the governor says in terms of relaxing restrictions, as well as how the township will be responding to those decisions.
So just to give you some idea, one of my boards is, what they're doing is they're offering that if any board members want to come to the hearing room, you have to keep 6-foot social distancing, but not everyone, because if you put everyone on the dais, that would be too much, but they're still keeping the public away because they don't want to risk having it spread. Most of my other boards, just like your board, are saying, let's assume we're going to be meeting virtually in June, but it's a lot easier to meet in person when you plan for virtual rather than plan for in person and then have to go to virtual.
True.
So I think we've got a little runway in terms of let's say a lot of balls have to drop from the air before we really know where we are with June 2nd.
And we're very lucky because we have an experiment going on tomorrow night in Bernards Township. The Board of Adjustment is going to have a hearing virtually. So if you want to see how that goes, tune on in and we'll see how Mike does.
Yeah, Mike's Idell will be on it.
Mike the man, that's what we're calling him.
I will be tuning in.
No pressure on you, Mike.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be a good time. I'm only chairing a portion of it though, so do tune in.
Which portion are you chairing? Because that's what everyone's going to be watching.
Oh, no, it's when everybody goes to bed. It'll be there.
Okay, yeah.
It's just Verizon.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if there are no more comments from staff, I'll take a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved. Mr.
Second.
McMillan.
Second,
Second. Paul?
okay, by Mr. Demerjian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Have a
Meeting's
nice
adjourned.
night, everybody.
Thank you.
Night.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, Kippy, can you transfer host to me?
Yeah, hold on. There you go, Chris. Should be your host now.